The National Guard has been deployed in the United States. The Marines have been called to go into LA. Congresswoman of New York, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, wrote on Bluesky, Sean, I will be damned if I allow a bunch of Confederate waving
Ricky, wait, I'm applying for my O. You're about to renew my O1, please. Don't put me in American political discussion. I support.
Wild, bro.
I'm Doge for life. Doge, oh shit, Doge is out. Shit. I'm sorry. Fuck Doge. Who are we with now? Like, it's crazy,
Who are
man.
you with now? I'll tell you who you're with now. Let me get through the damn question. I'll tell you who you're with. Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
I don't think, I think it's part of what I'm saying about the elitist narrative of the world, that the National Guard is called, Marines are called. This is what happens anytime anybody tries to do anything anywhere in the world. I mean, for us to think the American government is different from the Saudi government in the repression of people's will, means that we're not understanding the world. I mean, uh, Democrats, Republicans, same result if the people actually want to do something that changes the system, that brings the world to light, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many journalists have been killed in Gaza? Khashoggi, chopped up, who is being held responsible? What's happening? These people that did these things are still hailed, respected, invited to all the summits. This, listen, I don't know. This is why young people are so disillusioned. How many journalists did Obama lock up? I mean, where are we going with this? For me, it's not even the struggle for the immigration in America is a righteous one. I don't feel any human being is illegal anywhere in the world.
I
So
agree.
power to the people, power to the people. But now we must decide, on what kind of government do we want to have? Because this is what I'm saying that confuses me. You know, this kind of protest happens against immigration, right? That means people want immigrants. A large number, but then Trump is in power. You look all over the world, all young people are woke, but all their governments are turning to fascists. Who is voting for all these fascists? In France, it's the same thing. Protests everywhere. Everybody is righteous. But when it's election time, fascists are winning. So I'm stunned. I'm confused. You know, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on.
I
You
think
know,
it's because they're trying to showcase that liberalism is a problem and it does not solve much, if anything. It's a centrist mentality to keep everything as it is when people are struggling. For example, everyone says the economy was the best ever under Joe Biden, but I know people who are working 2 or 3 jobs in order to pay rent. So the economy is not working for everybody. It's working for some people. And then you have fascists who are saying, I can fix the economy. And people are either highly uneducated, don't pay attention during the election cycle, or they just buy it. They buy it. And they think that this is an answer to the problems that they are suffering when really it's just going to make it worse. So you don't have a solution to any of these problems other than pretending to have a solution to the problems.
I feel, globally, people just need to organize more. And people with means in the world that really want the world to, we the professionals need to speak to ourselves. This is not even a matter of me. The means I'm talking here is skill. You know, why don't doctors just talk about, meeting, what, this meeting, we are going for a drink and then discuss how to treat their patients better, to make their hospital, freer for them to operate and treat patients they actually want to treat and not listening to some ghost from somewhere because of some admin, whatever. I mean, just why are we not thinking of organizing just to make the world better? For me, that's what's missing, that people, most adults don't really want to do grown-up shit. Especially let me not speak for Americans, really. But in my country, what I noticed is that, people still want to do the same things they've been doing since high school with their free time.
Like?
Go out and have a drink, watch a sport game, chase girls, buy a car, build houses. Same ambition since, if you had asked him when he was just leaving high school, what do you want to do when you grow up? Oh, I want to get a job, build a house, buy a car, marry a nice wife, have a good family. The same, like, what's going on in the world that we don't understand, that as we grow, we have to seek, that which connects us to our community more. We need to seek community in a way that it is a symbiosis, that we're trying to, I don't know. Maybe I don't have the words for it in English, but, Afenifere is how we say it in my language, to want what's good for you. You want what's good for you, but also for others, which is the higher consciousness of human existence. So for me, that's something that I always wonder, oof, why are people not thinking about these things, in my country, and everybody is just buying more cars, building more houses, chasing more girls, going out every day, drinking more alcohol. Are you not tired? I guess also there's a way that nature moves, there's a way that nature moves, and I think, if we are going to be the ones to liberate ourselves, then it will be. But if it's going to be by higher forces as well, then that will also be, maybe the solution, because humans are also very, very proud. As humans, we feel like, oh my God, nothing, we're so cool and special. But maybe, just maybe, it has gotten to the point where the solution to what's going on is not human, and so there's also that.
It's almost jarring to hear the similarities between what you say is the mentality among tons of people in your country and it reflecting the same mentality in the States. Because as Tupac once said in an old MTV interview, everybody wants to be like Trump. Everybody wants to be push, 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 take, take, take. People have $1 bajillion, and I'm seeing somebody on the streets of a major metropolitan city who can't even afford shoes, clothes, pants, drawers,
I remember that,
etc. And it still is true today, because all people really want, it seems, is what you described, is the house, nice car, family.
Yeah, because there's the elitist narrative that rules our world. That is the elitist narrative. People spend billions of dollars to create that mindset. People just don't sit down and become like that. No. It takes years of programming, and especially indoctrination through education stopped a long time ago. And these elites have bought up all these educational institutions. They finance all the knowledge, from primary school, they control the curriculums of the educational system. So Paulo Freire explains this perfectly in The Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Through the banking system of education, they create this unipolar mind all over the world, because we're all under this system. With the Marshall Plan, America came to and control and dominate education in terms of, this indoctrination into this capitalist mindset. Greed is good, as they said. Competition is the only way, or innovation. And I said to a friend of mine that was I'm like, the first people to go to space were socialists. They weren't competing with themselves in their society to create the space rocket to go to space. The socialist society created the first space travel. So I don't really believe that innovation comes from competition. No. Necessity is the father of all invention. as they say, and I think that remains true. You know, I even think we spend too much time today creating things that keep us apart. Too many things, so much energy is expended on inventing things and creating all these things that just keep people apart, that separates us, compartmentalizes us, especially separates. It could even compartmentalize to a huge box where we're all together, but no, that's not that's just joining. So yeah, compartmentalization and separation is the game. Too much energy, not a lot of things that unite us. Even when they claim that they invented the social media to unite social media is more divisive than any other technology I've ever seen. Not a lot of things that, I mean, how many movies have we seen that's about this us destroying the world? I've seen maybe 10,000 films that's about the destruction of this world. I've not seen a single movie about us getting it right, bro. Not one movie that just set on earth where everything is nice and perfect and human beings are just living without pressure. Like we're just being our best selves in this movie and the characters are just showing us how to be. Have you seen this movie?
No.
So are you telling me of the million writers in this world, all these actors, and nobody has ever imagined the world where we get it right?
I got one.
Yeah, give it to me.
Forrest Gump.
Uh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Come on, he was happy. He figured it out, right?
He figured it out, but that's one person, and it's not everybody.
That's right. So 1 out of 10,000.
No, but he figured it out. Not everybody.
That's true.
All these 10,000 movies, everything is destroyed in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Apocalyptic movies every day. There's one movie about one apocalypse or the next.
Mm-hmm.
But where are the movies about us getting it right?
Banned, right?
Nobody's going to pay for that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.